guys, I have another update for all of you. Been a busy couple of days. A few things have happened since the update on Friday, but I told myself I'd keep you all posted, so I'm gonna try my best to. Naturally, on Friday morning when I woke up to the lock's water all over my kitchen floor, I freaked out. I could tell it was the lock from the darker color, as well as bits of dirt and grass in the water. My first reaction was, fuck. This freak is going to be somewhere in my gaff. So I immediately went on a hunt. I grabbed one of my axes I use for work, took the wee man, and searched every room in the house. No one there. Nothing stolen. Absolutely fuck all. That was until I got to my bedroom. The bedroom I had been sleeping in all night. I looked at the wardrobe in the corner and feared the worst instantly. I had a gut feeling something was amiss. I raised the axe up as I walked over. I couldn't breathe. I was that nervous. I took one last moment before I swung open the door. Nothing. No one in there. Fucking relief. But I did notice one thing missing. Eileen's dress from when we got married. It's usually hung up on the far right side of the wardrobe, out of sight, out of mind. But it was gone. It was a beautiful dress, and she'd look stunning in it. Our wedding down by Loch Lomond in the middle of Scotland when she came walking down the aisle. Sorry, I'm rambling. I couldn't believe this bastard had taken it. Why her wedding dress? And how did he know her fucking name the night before? And how did he know about... Ignore that. All he left was his dirty clothes in its place. Unbranded and no name tags. Fuck. I hope that doesn't mean he's wearing that dress now. Does it? I called the local police again and explained the situation. PC Harley answered the phone and barely gave me time of day. Cheeky bastard. Same as I'd got from the other officer the other night. Have you been drinking again, Derek? Are you sure you didn't imagine it, Derek? Are you sure you want to push your luck again after last year, Derek? Bastards. Holding my history against me. I was innocent anyway. Sorry for all these rambles, by the way. I'm having a drink of whiskey while I write this. Makes me chatty. Anyway, it got to last night. Saturday night. Things took a really grave turn. I was sitting with Alfie. The night had started closing in. I could hear the crickets outside. The fireflies were in the air, and the air was that nighttime crisp. I fancied a cigarette, so I decided to walk down to the lock's edge to have one this time. It's just so quiet. Looking out on the lock while having a smoke on your own, it's beautiful. I offered for the wee man to come, but he sort of just whined and didn't want to leave the gaff. Suit yourself, I thought. I left the door just open in case he changed his mind and headed toward the lock. I just sparked up my smoke and was looking over the water when you wouldn't believe what I saw. Eileen's dress floating in the water. That fucking bastard. Taking my dead wife's wedding dress and chucking it in the fucking lock when I get my hands on him. I knew what I had to do. Against all my instincts, I stripped down to my underwear and dove in. I know what you're thinking. This guy's a fucking idiot. I am. But it has sentimental value, alright? I swam and swam further into the darkness until I found myself in the middle of the loch. These lochs go up to 1,000 feet deep. Hence why, while treading water in the middle of this thing in the dead of night, I began to have a sickening feeling. I clutched onto Eileen's dress and looked at the empty water around me. I didn't realize how cold it was until now. I began to panic and shiver, thinking about what was below me. What could grab me from under the dark water at any time? I started swimming back to the shore as quickly as I could, constantly imagining a hand reaching up from the depths to drag me down, never to be heard from again. But that didn't happen. I made it to shore, relieved and surprised. Nothing had happened. I took a sigh of relief and triumphantly held Eileen's soaked wedding dress to my chest. That was when I noticed the front door. The front door of my house. The front door of my house that was now wide open. Fuck. Before I could even start my sprint there, I heard Alfie barking a storm. No! Alf! I dropped the dress and began to race to the door as quickly as I could. I got there in seconds and came charging in through the front door. The corridor drenched in loch water from my unwelcome guest once again. I looked straight ahead, seeing the back door now open. The water trailed on the floor heading that way too. I heard Alfie's bark coming from the backyard now. I tore through the open back door and looked out into the dark backyard. The dark backyard. The dark backyard is where this started. There he was, racing off into the woods, naked, and with Alfie under one of his arms. He dropped down from his sprint into a spring crawl like a chimpanzee or something, before he vanished through the tree line into the forest. This fucking animal. He'd taken my dog. He'd taken all I had left. I staggered back into the house and collapsed on the kitchen floor. Grief, shock, adrenaline, all of them were running through my body. That was when I noticed it. Across the kitchen wall, smeared in blood. Eileen. And next to it, just perched on one of the cabinets, sat an eyeball. What looked to be a human eyeball. I knew for a fact it wasn't Alp's, and I doubted it was anyone else's. Had this fucker really done that? Had he ripped out his own fucking eye? I threw up. I don't know if it was the sight of that or the adrenaline dump or both, but it all just came out. So that leads me to tonight. I'm sitting here, just finished my bottle of whiskey, and I'm feeling brave. I've got my axe next to me and a torch for when it gets dark. I'm going into the woods tonight. I'm going to get Alfie back, and I'm going to kill this bastard once and for all. The sun sets around 8 or 9 in Scotland now, so I'm going to wait for that. Try and surprise him. I know these woods well from lumbering, so that won't be an issue. I'll update when I'm back. If I'm back. Let y'all know how it goes. Wish me luck. God bless you, and good night.